We are live. Ah, okay, hold on one sec. I just want to go on the LinkedIn and my YouTube just so that I can make sure that the people can hear me. If you are on the live with us, I think most people were joining from LinkedIn. If you can hear the words that are coming out of my mouth, please let me know so that I know that we are good. Matter of fact, if my special guest, if you want to go on LinkedIn real quick and just make sure that you can hear me talking, that would be dope. Um, I got somebody hiding in the cut, y'all. Let's see. Oh my goodness, it looks like I'm live on LinkedIn. And let's see over here on the tube of views. Reclaiming Monday. Make sure I spell it right. Does it say she's live? It does. If you can you my special guest, can you you hear me and see me on LinkedIn? All right, my guest is checking. In the meantime, I don't have any ice water to put my face in, but I am awake. I am awake. I'm just waiting to see if people can actually hear me before I get started with this Q2 reset. I just want to know, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, all right, cool. We will say yeah. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so we are streaming live. Let me give some people some more time to come on in. And while I do that, I'm going to play the theme song if I can get it to work. So let's see what we got. This is so weird and I love it. Okay, here we go. Q2 reset is getting ready to start. Hope you're ready. If you don't have a journal, go grab a journal. We're going to be here for a little bit, asking you guys some reflection questions. And then, two, I'm also going to be admitting to crimes. If you're in my class, you know what that means. It's nothing illegal. It just means that it's insightful. All right. So let's play it back. See you in a sec.
Feeling fresh at the start of the week. Monday morning, I am back on my feet. Stay sharp, staying ready to run. I am reclaiming Monday, so you know I gotta wake up. No time for the snooze. Got goals to chase, got nothing to lose. Step in the game, I'm making my move. Monday's mine, I'm setting the mood. We reclaim, we take back. No slow down, no laid back. New day, new way. Yeah, we stay on track, reclaim Monday. Now watch that stack, yeah. Yeah, feeling fresh at the start of the week. Monday morning, I am back on my feet. Stay sharp, staying ready to run. I am reclaiming Monday, so you know I gotta wake up. No time for the snooze. Got goals to chase, got nothing to lose. Step in the game, I'm making my move. Monday's mine, I'm setting the mood. We reclaim, we take back.
All right, welcome to it, y'all. I am so glad that you are here today for our Q2 reset. If you work in sales, you know what a quarter of a year means, and you know how quickly and how fast they can go. So we're going to reset, we're going to reframe, and then we are going to re-engage. So like I said, I'm going to start by admitting to a couple of crimes. And what I mean by that is I'm going to tell you guys some stories about myself that were a little bit insightful, that will hopefully help you guys jumpstart your reset by just thinking about some of the things that stopped me in my tracks. Okay, so if you'll just promise me that this is a safe space, I will go ahead and proceed. So it looks like I got a comment. Just let me know that I'm amongst friends and it's in a safe space. Okay, okay, cool. We're in a safe space, and that's good. All right, so this is how we're going to roll. I'm going to admit to some crimes, which are going to lead to some insights. I'm going to bring on a guest who is a licensed counselor to help us move past some of those roadblocks that we might be facing when it comes to setting goals and like actually taking control of our lives. So yes, I am so glad that you are here. I know that you can see me behind stage. Thank you so much for coming. And then I am going to give you guys an offer for free on the live stream, on the recorded, maybe not, but like it's basically just going to walk you through the rest of the reset to make sure that you guys have the tools that you need in order to be successful in Q2. And then we have some reflection questions. So if you haven't grabbed your journal, now is a good time to do that. If you don't have a journal like me, because I'm on the last page of my journal today, use something electronic, but let's get into it. Okay, so boom. The other day I ran into somebody, and the first thing that they asked me was how the running was going. I had one of those moments where like I literally like just stared into space because I'm like, oh, we did have that conversation. We did talk about running. See, the last time that we talked, like we had explored the idea of running. I'm sorry, I still got the music on and it's bothering me a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we had explored the idea of running, and it was a really good talk. We were talking about health. We were talking about being social here in the DFW, like all the things, right? I was like, it was so good. But here was the problem. See, she was serious, and I was only exploring the idea. I really enjoyed the conversation. I wanted to keep it going. I wanted to be encouraging, and it felt great to really just give some mental assent to things that I was never going to do. And when I say I'm admitting to a crime, I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know I wasn't going to do it. So just don't judge me, okay? Because you done said some things too, and I know it. But in the time that passed, right, she had actually ran some races. And if you know me, you also know that in that time that had passed, I had not even gotten running shoes. So I had I had really good intentions though, like the best of intentions, like really great intentions, but only one of us came through. And so I learned a lot from that conversation, and I hope you learned a little bit from that confession. So the takeaways. This is point number 1 for you guys that are paying attention. I got 4 points for you for my confessions. Let me go ahead and put this up. All right, so here's the takeaway. There is a huge difference between a goal and an idea. All right, part 2 of that is if you're waiting for someone else to get started, that day may never come. I probably won't be a runner. I'm just gonna be real. I have a little bit of trauma concerning that. Maybe I can talk to our guest about that. But like literally the last time that I ran like for real is because my basketball coach made me. And then what had happened was I'm on the start line, like staring into the crowd at my crush. And the start gun like startled me and I tripped and fell twice at the start. So it's a little bit of trauma in there. So if she would have waited for me, it probably never would have happened. And then also you should probably surround yourself with people that are just as serious about your goals as you are. Because I did not think about running that one time after that combo. But here's the thing though, like here's my redeeming grace, like and to my guests, like I can see your face, don't judge me, okay? We listen and we don't judge, okay? I see you down there judge. But here's the thing, okay? So literally like as soon as that conversation happened, it was just like rote memory. Like I just said out loud, I was like, yo, that didn't make it into the vision board because it didn't. And it's just not there. It just was not on my vision board. And so I want to bring up somebody and I want to make sure that I get the introduction correct, because when I say that this person is a heavy hitter, this person is a heavy hitter. All right. So if I miss anything in your intro, please forgive me. And then just let the people know who they messing with. Okay. So Alexia, let me bring you to the stage real quick and I'm going to keep bragging on you. You ready to come to the stage? I got you.
Ready.
All right. Hey, let's do it.
Hello. Hello. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Tamia, for
Let me get your intro, girl. Let me do you some justice. Let me do you
all
some
right.
justice. So, Alexia Antoine is a mentor, a master level professional counselor, and a tech nerd who just happens to have a background in federal and state privacy regulation compliance. All the things. Okay, so today she is focused on bridging the gap between mental health and cybersecurity. And if you know, your girl is in cybersecurity now, so I just love this. And her mentorship focus is to raise a generation of thinkers. So welcome to Reclaiming Monday, Alexia. So good to have you on, girl.
Oh, it's so good to be here, and thank you so much. I'm so proud to hear what you've already been doing, in Reclaiming Monday, because Monday can be a source of trauma, a combination of things for so many people. And when I heard your story, um, as you built this and as you continue to build this, it's been inspirational. I admire you, your mind, your ability to strategize and just make things happen. So you're speaking of a heavy hitter. I'm looking at one.
Girl, don't make me start the work first on a Monday night. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. So let's talk about vision. All right, Alexia. Um,
All right.
let's talk about why it's important. And I just want to start us off with a quote, if that's okay. There's two things that like really came to mind when I was thinking about vision. One of them is this quote by Caroline Leaf, and her quote says, "If we're not actively thinking about and shaping our identity, we will be shaped by the world around us." So that's the first thing that came to mind. And then the second thing that came to mind was this story in the Bible, um, where they saw themselves as grasshoppers and it did
Yeah.
not end well. So give it to us. Why is vision important? Why is a vision board important? Why is identity important? I know that was a loaded question, but give it to us, girl. I'll let you have the stage.
I hear you. Thank you. The thing about vision is that it helps us understand, first of all, what we care about. That's one thing. And that in itself is loaded. So when we're thinking about vision, we have several questions to work with, at least two. One of them is, what do I care about in the first place? When I wake up, apart from my responsibilities, school or work or whatever it is, as you're getting to your dream career, right? Or dream job, your calling, the question is this something that I prioritize and would willingly prioritize? That's one thing. Then the other thing that we also want to look at is at the same time, what was I created to do? And sometimes there may be a conflict between those two things. If there is a conflict between the vision that we have for ourselves and then the vision that is designed for us, then we have a few things to sort through. I mean, that's something that at times we all get to work through. So also the other part about vision is it helps us recognize what do we want overall and why. And then once we have that, what does that look like? Vision boards are something Tamia and I have been talking about. And I personally like to use Pinterest. The thing about Pinterest is it's visual. The vision board is virtual and visual. You can change it, you can create several versions of it, you can expand it. But I noticed over the time of building out my vision, it helped me see what was an expectation that I wanted to match up to everybody around me versus a responsibility and a calling that I sensed. So that raised a generation of thinkers was something that came to me in a time of prayer. And when I was thinking about all these other ideas, even authorship and all of that, I mean, sure, that was one snippet of it. But the thing that you'll find is vision is attached much more to someone else who's waiting on you, becoming the fullest version of yourself.
I love that. Like, I'm just gonna admit to you how much of a nerd I am. I actually had a shirt made that says Chief Vision Officer. Um,
Nice.
just to remind me that like nobody else is in charge of the vision for my life. And I have to be the one to really just lock in on the things that I say that I want. And so for me, like a vision board, just keeping it like around me all the time, like to the point where I have it saved on my lock screen on my phone. So I see it every day. Like I see who I am, I see who I'm going to be. And the thing that I did this year that I hadn't done in the past, is I put identities with it. And
Mhm.
so, if you ever see the lock screen on my phone for some reason, it literally has pictures of everything that I am, everything that I want to be, and I gave myself a name like warrior or leader or author or businesswoman, and it's all on there so that I can see it every day, because
Mhm.
there are so many messages that come to us on a daily basis that are designed to make us feel less than. And so
That.
for me, yeah, for me, it's just so important to have just to have that reminder on a daily basis of who I am and where I'm going. So Lexi is gonna be back in a second to talk to us about something that is like super into her wheelhouse again. So I'm gonna pop you back down. Thank you, girl.
Thank
And
you.
I'll see you in a second. All right, so we have just talked about vision boards, right? So that's point two. Point one is know the difference between a goal and an idea. Point number two is put that stuff on a vision board so you can remind yourself when life gets tough who you are, and where you are going. Point number three, theme days. All right, let me talk to you. Okay. If you don't know my background, I'm in tech now, right? Thank you, God. But no shade. I was in the restaurant industry for over a decade, and that industry can be tough. And when I say tough, I mean tough. Like the toughest that I ever went was 22 days straight, 15-hour days trying to open up a restaurant for somebody else. Uh, Falling asleep on the floor because I was so tired. And in that season, I realized that I had to intensely study productivity. So so I wouldn't have to live like that. There were times it's the nature of the beast in restaurant season or in restaurants, right? Where you actually have to work that hard. I say have to because whatever. We can I digress. There's I digress. Just read my book. Anywho, theme days. Okay. So there's this dude called Michael Hyatt. And I just knew I was in a spot where I was gonna have to be productive and make sure that I had some plans around my calendar. And so just to give you a glimpse of like some of the things that I was doing, I was a district manager, I was a chef, I was splitting my time between multiple restaurants, I was training for entire regions, I was leading hundreds of employees, I was eating standing up because we were so busy, and I was crying. And so I know I needed something to really just revamp the way that I was doing things and the way that I was approaching my work, because the norm was not going to work for me. Beyond that, like a lot of the rooms that I was in, your girl was the only female, the only person of color, and at that time, one of the youngest people as well. So I needed to be effective and I needed to be productive and I needed it to not be questioned. And beyond that, too, like, the way the schedule goes sometimes in the restaurant industry can get kind of weird. And I felt like as I was coming through the ranks, I had some managers that would like effectively use their disorganization and lack of calendar use kind of like as psychological warfare. And I didn't want to be that person for my team. Uh, yeah. Okay, so anyways, I started to theme my days with the help of Michael Hyatt, and I started to do something called the ideal schedule. And so what I did was like every day had a theme. Okay, like every single day had a theme. Wednesdays, everybody knew it was for outside interviews. If you have somebody you want me to talk to, put them on the calendar for Wednesday. That's the time that I have for it. Tuesdays, I taught leadership classes. On Fridays, like that was the day that I went extra hard. Like your girl always worked in the restaurants, but on Fridays, I went and worked side by side with some of our busiest and our like most stressed out restaurants just so that they could have some support. And because I was predictable, because I was able to build that stability with my team, I was also able to get an edge and be a little bit unpredictable as well. It's kind of like if you learn to play music and you learn the scales, like that's the first part, and then you can improvise a little bit with jazz, right? So I was able to do some unannounced visits and really just go and support. Like a lot of times they would leave younger managers alone. All alone. So your girl would be unpredictable in the sense that like I would go and visit those managers who might have felt alone, who needed to get caught doing something right. And so, but if I didn't have my calendar in place, there was no way that I was going to be able to have that impact. And so, what I want to do is I want to bring Alexia back up because she has like this whole program that goes over calendars. Let me bring you up real quick. Make sure I press the right button. And boom. Our licensed counselor is back in the house. Alexia, let me take myself down and then I will get your slideshow.
Hey everyone. So as the slideshow prepares, this is something called Framing Your Day. And Tamia, pardon me if I have to pause for a moment as this is going on, but I want to make sure I have everything prepared for you and then make sure that the background, all of that is just so, okay? So no interruptions. So yes, so this part about framing your day, this came about when I was thinking about how to get organized. This was around 2022, around that time, if not earlier than that, because I was thinking about business. I was thinking about how am I going to define myself when it comes to this new area of life? How am I going to get my own head together and get organized? Coming from a whole background and my own story leading up to that point. And so I created something called Framing Your Day, or Framing Your Day calendar, using some readily available tools. And so the purpose of this is to see what you care about, like we touched on a little bit already today, and then avoiding being overwhelmed unnecessarily. Life in itself has enough that it's going to bring, but we can minimize that when we use tools like this. And then to simplify how we approach our tasks. And so on this next page, we were looking at the question, what does it mean to frame our day? So like Tamia was talking about, this is not a new concept. What we're doing today is putting a visual to it. So there's a way that we can make the theme of our day so fun, so catchy, and so memorable to where it tells us what to do. And we never have to ask, what am I going to do today on the same day? And so what this means is on the next slide, we're basically downloading all of our to-dos. So we're taking stress off of our already overloaded brains and then putting it in visual format on our calendars. The best thing to do, I would say, is a virtual calendar. That's what this is tailored for, but do what you need to do. So you want to make it to where it's going to be recurring. You don't have to do this day after day. You can set it and forget it just enough to where you can see what you need to do and then come back. All right, so let me pause for a moment.
Hold on 1 second. Lexia, if you want to check the private chat, when I say this lady is busy and booked, like she be busy and booked. Okay, all right, she's back.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tamia. All right. So yes. So what this is, we're setting the reminders, we're making it recurring, and then we're looking at the resources that we have set up for ourselves, and then we pop it in. So what this looks like is on this next slide, this is the very beginning of it. So it is going to be called our weekly focuses. So where Michael Hyatt and where Tamia were talking about the theme of the day, that is the little thing that we're going to put at the top of our calendar. So if you've ever played around with Google Calendars or any other form, this is what we can do. We can set our calendars and make it an all-day event, which is what that weekly focus is, or that daily focus is. And you can make it ride the top of your calendar each time. So we are going to name every day, and then that tells us what that day is going to be focused on. The difference with this is those gray bars at the top that you see circled are going to be the thing that we fit between each of our breaks, because that's going to be taking up that day, so much so that we need to do that in bite-sized pieces. So in this case, goaling or reading or writing articles or working on writing craft, whatever your thing is for that day, you want to fit it wherever you can, over and over and over, to where you're just chipping away at it and dedicated to it and not dividing your attention to any other big goal. All right, so on the next slide, let's look at what that means more specifically. So yes, it rides the top of the calendar. When you go in, and I go into more detail in video form. This is part of another area, another thing where I show you in video form. Tamia will tell you more about that later. But in this picture, what you're seeing is how you can set up your calendar. So in Google, this is showing you how you go in and you put in large letters what your focus is for that day. You chip away at it, and then the day frame also includes your regular recurring things that you do at the beginning of your day. So we have the smaller bars on the calendar like you saw on the previous slide. And Tamia, you're welcome to go back to that previous slide, so showing the weekly focuses. So these green, red, gold, and purple bars are those bars that you can set up as things that you do to get your day started, for example. So this is what I would do when I would successfully, and I'm still making myself adjust my times, but get up early enough so you can start your day before the actual day starts. And then after that, you're writing those tasks so that you know how to fit them in where they do fit. And so I'm going to pause because that's a lot. But Tamia, any questions or thoughts or anything that anyone's asking right now?
Let me see. Let me check the comments real quick. If you guys have any questions for Alexia on what she's kind of covered so far, and using, technology to really theme your days and sprinkle more of what you say that you want to do into your calendar, so that you can actually have it on your head, have it on your mind, and actually get things done. If you got any questions for Alexia, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Let's see. She's productivity coach, right? Too. Like, let me. I think I got you muted. My bad.
Oh, working on productivity. So when someone would ask about how to do certain things like executive functioning like this, I would talk about this with them. But no, it's like bringing all of this together in one room.
I love it. I love it. So it looks like if you guys have any questions throughout, I can see your comments. So just go ahead and throw the question either on LinkedIn or YouTube. Like, I can see your comments, so I really appreciate it. Like, the room for thought. What is up? What is up, partner? Told my nephew and my nieces, I said I love them and hello. Appreciate you. But yeah, we can see your comments. If you guys have any questions throughout, just let us know. And so, do you want me to go ahead and where were we at? You want to bring your slides back up?
Yes, let's go to the daily focuses, one forward.
All right. Let me get rid of me so that they can see it.
And we'll go to, let's see, I believe one. Let's go one. Yeah, that's perfect. So the daily routine focuses. So now that you have an idea of what every day is going to be for, then you go in and say, what do I need to do each day? So with this, I like to focus more on you making sure that you're centered. I want you to be centered, because before you go into the things you have to do, it's important to take care of the things you need to do, whether that be centering yourself, prayer, scripture reading, meditation, even drinking a cup of tea or stretching. That in itself is going to help carry you through the rest of your day. Because how often do you think about starting your day for somebody else, right? And when you do that, I mean, yeah.
I want y'all to catch that. How often do you think about starting your day for someone else? How often do you think about starting your day for someone else? And a lot of times I know for me in that season when I was in restaurants, I was not thinking about me. I was not thinking about me. I was thinking about the mission. I was thinking about my team. I was thinking about being successful in opening restaurants, right? But the thing is if you don't spend time doing the things that are important to you as a person and as a human, all of your stuff gets put behind and it doesn't go anywhere because who is focused on you? You have to be focused on you no matter what else you get called to do that day. You have to spend time making sure that you are okay. I had to.
It's so true. No, exactly. You said it perfectly because especially I can imagine, right? As fun as the restaurant industry is, I mean, it's like a duck, right? Like the little feet are going underneath and there's a lot of churning going on. And then just like with us, like day to day, we're thinking about what can I do to be productive? What can I do to make sure that I'm taking care of this or taking care of them? But it but then you kind of drop yourself. But remember this, you are worth making sure that you're taken care of, right? And so when you're looking at that and making sure that you're taking care of yourself, you're looking at what is it that you need to do during the day or the morning. If you were to wake up at maybe 4 or 5, whatever your early time is, or even if it's just 15 minutes early, think about what it is that would put a smile on your face. And that's your daily routine. So you would do that, you would color code it. So on this next one, we're looking at how to break this down, the daily focuses. So we want to break it down into small little tasks, like brief different ones. I'm looking back and forth this throughout this, but when we're looking at breaking down the daily focuses, we want to make sure that they're done in maybe like 15, 30-minute time frames. You can do this for like 90 minutes if you are really into the thing that you're doing. But this is helping you make sure that you have a strong start. And yes, if you're a night person, if you prefer to do this later in the day to close your day, then you can do that then. But for a lot of us who like to start the day and want to wake ourselves up, then this is great for morning time. Thing is, the key and the secret is to be clear on why you're doing it. So here you see the brain train. This is where I would find different books that I would look at a few pages or I'd read a chapter or so. I was trying to work through that for that month or that week. On the next one is link adding. So I'm going to pause, Tamia. Anything that I needed to touch more on? Anyone? Yeah.
You forgot a book to throw on there, and that was
Yes.
your book.
Oh.
You thought I was gonna say my book too, but like your book. Do you want to plug your book real quick, Lexia?
Sure. It's I created when I do this. This was I may have written it by that time. I wrote it by then. It is License to Disrupt. So License to Disrupt is talking about how can you figure out how to create a ripple effect in your environment, and then how to establish not only thought, but then to disrupt environments that are stuck in a status quo, a certain old way of thinking, unproductive way of thinking, and how can you make it to where the people that you're needing to convince or the people that you're needing to connect with and find common ground with can start to understand why this change is so productive, how it's not a threat, and then also a way to navigate, whether through a passive approach or through a more active approach, no holds barred, okay, let's do this before the ship sinks kind of approach. And so it's like a business, it is a business navigation kind of discussion. And at the same time, I mean, you're talking about if you're of faith, or even if you're wondering about faith, even if you're not of faith, it's looking at how can you do that even for your personal life. And so, License to Disrupt.
Love it. I love it. All right. So we're talking about what books to read that kind of just prompt those discussions. And then you've got links. So what are these links about?
These are about making sure that you don't have to go outside of your calendar. So part of if you're pretty scattered and when you're looking at something and time passes you by, like it has been for me in the past, I needed to have something that is a one-stop shop. So when you have everything in your calendar, you click on these bars like the green, and then if it's all there and you've already put in all of the details, then you can click on that and stick with your routine, have your timer to the side. You're counting 5, 10, 15 minutes. Once the timer goes off, you put it away and click on the next thing. So this is how you stay loyal to your own routine and to your self-care. These links are inside of each of these little bars you see. So when you click on like the green, for example, it'll have something, or Brain Train, the red, it's going to have these different areas that you're needing to look into. You'll create this for yourself. And so to me, for example, if you're looking into some other trainings that you're wanting to create, or some other trainings that you're wanting to go through for yourself, if you've created this theme of brain training, study time, whatever you choose to call it, that's going to be an area for you to be able to click and say, okay, right. So it is, let's say 7:37 right now. So this is my evening time, for instance, for me to do my study time or whatever it is. And so when you click on that, you don't have to worry about pulling out your notebook, going to another source, being scattered. It's all right there. So it streamlines.
I love that because I'm definitely one that, like I'll have my theme days, right? But like it's kind of analog sometimes, or like it'll be like in one spot over here and then I've got something over here. So I just love how you like streamline everything and put it together. That's really cool.
It is so helpful. I can't wait for you to try it.
I'm excited. I'm excited. All right. Let's see.
Link added.
Right.
Yeah. This is the fun part. So all of those different resources you may have stashed away in your cloud or in your email. This is where you gather them all and drop them in where they fit. So where they fit are those different areas, like those different bars. So let's say your great day frame bars, your main ones that are going to help you chip away through the day. You can open up, click on it, set the time, and this little box here where it says all day, you would click it for your day frame gray bars, change it to the color gray because that is going to be writing up the top for the whole day. And then in the text box, put in, copy and paste your links and then or title what they are. And right there, click save. As far as reminders, for your all day, you don't have to have a reminder unless you want to. But for your other ones that are for the morning and your recurring routine, like your meditation, your reading, and anything else, then you would put on the reminder to remind you at the time of that event. Because you want it to, remind you, okay, it's time right now. This is time to start. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with it being the day before or anything like that. Someone's into the sticky notes, right?
That's me. I'm like, anywho, I've already made enough confessions, but yeah, my sticky notes are over here crying, girl.
No, but the thing is, those things they never lose their importance. I have some clear ones myself. Yeah, the thing is with this,
they feel better.
They feel better, yes. Like it's your, they complement each other. They really do, because when you're looking at the links themselves, The links are the ones that are telling you where to go. The sticky notes, which is a great point, are telling you maybe why, right? If you're putting on your keywords, oh, businesswoman, key terms, right? Everything, all of these different things are perfectly expressed where you make it your own. And that's actually a perfect point to me. You can create and customize how you do this. You want to encourage yourself analog, and then you also want to hold yourself accountable digitally. You know? Oh. For the link adding, and I want to pause, Tamia. Oh, you're on mute. Could you share your insight with us?
I said I was playing around with the layout. Don't mind me.
Well, link adding is where you can maximize the memo feature. So don't be shy with this. It's not unheard of to have from like here to here on your screen, here to here on your screen of the links that you've dropped in. So you go in to click any space in your Google Calendar, any of the time slots. This is going to open up here. And then from there, you select more options. And so if you're following along with me now, if you go into your Google Calendar, you see the calendar grid view, click on one of those empty spaces. And then you're going to see this box open up where you can title it. And if you're making your day frame, you can name in all caps what that day is going to be about. So if it's about networking, or if it's about studying, or if it's about making your calls, sales calls, on whatever it is that that day is going to mean for you. Underneath that, then you want to go into the gray text box, and then go and grab the links that you've been spending days, weeks, months, years gathering, and then drop that into that text box. This is perfect for helping me stay with current events, because the time I made this, I was not keeping up with current events. So I had to go on and find so many different news outlets, the GRIO, right, whitehouse.gov, even legislature, Congress, going to the Congress website, all of these different things. And then drop that in there. That way it reminds you of where to go. You don't have to search it up. Another thing that I noticed with this is sometimes we don't seek out information because we don't know where to go, or we may find it overwhelming. Going right back to it, this is all about removing as much overwhelm as possible. And so you paste your links in, and then you may set it to recurring. You do this because you can choose for it to be a certain day or every day. The important thing with the everyday setting or the weekday setting is to make it where you're making it to where it's something that you need to do for each day, like the routines. And then for the next slide, you've got your choice of the online calendar. And so this is where you customize it. You create your own color scheme. You can stick with the color scheme examples here. And then as you go through the videos of the course, the Framing Your Day course, free Framing Your Day course, because I'd be happy for you to be able to see this in more depth. You'll be able to look at how to set it up.
I just want to clarify, because when the podcast blows up and there are a bunch of people lined up and watching this episode, I just want to clarify that's for the people on the live that sign up for the Q2 reset mini course, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to disclaimer, because I worked at a restaurant one time. I feel like all of my stories are restaurant stories, but we had a promo with no end date, and that it worked as well as you think it did. So when I say we, I got there after. Okay. So I just wanted to make that clear. Yes, back to you.
Yes.
No end date. free appetizers. Oh, no end date. Huh.
Right.
Interesting.
So yes, for those of you who joined Tamia today on the Q2 reset, the free Framing Your Day course is going to show you how to get through this process in more depth. In those slides and in those videos, I'm going to walk you through and with my own hand, click through the calendar and type and paste different things and show you how to do this, or show you what I've already typed or pasted and how I got there. So the thing about this is that you can make it your own, you can have fun with it, and you can always go in and change it. And so we have, in the last few slides, we have two different types of day frames, calendars, standard day frame calendars. You have the standard one, or actually two different Framing Your Day calendars. The standard is going to show you how to just put in your main day themes, and then underneath that, your morning routines, or for the night people, your evening routines. The next one is going to be the highly detailed Framing Your Day calendar. So this is where, for those of you who like to know what you're going to do every hour of every day, because there are some demands, some routine schedules that just require that. Whether you're a parent, a caregiver, or even your industry demands it. And so I show you how to do that too, so that each day is accounted for, is well stewarded, well done, well used. And it is the same process as the day frame, except it goes into more granular detail. You can also set it to repeat daily or weekly. And then this one is going to be very important for you to be task specific with it. So that actually is the biggest mistake that I see with the highly detailed day frame calendar, Framing Your Day calendar, is not making it task specific. So if you think about all the things you have to do during that day and you're very general about it, if you give it a generic title, then how are you going to know exactly what you need to do, what you have completed before, and where you need to begin that day? So that's why you want to be as detailed as possible, and you can always change it. And then a cool nerd, to me, you said it. I'm glad you say it too. I'm a nerd.
We are nerds. we are nerds. And the reason I say that is because I've been in spaces where I felt like I had to play my intelligence down. And I don't know if that resonates with anybody, but I've been in spaces where I felt like I couldn't be too smart. So to be able to embrace tech and be able to work with people on a daily basis and just encounter people like yourself that challenge you to dig deep into that realm of intelligence and really just be yourself, is everything. So I claim that title as a nerd hardcore, and I claim it. So
that's refreshing, right?
100%.
I do too. Yes.
100%.
This is a feature for exactly that. So if
Somebody
you
else agrees, we are nerds.
Yeah.
I love it.
The schedule view, you're going to like this. So keyboard shortcut. If you press the letter A on your keyboard through Google Calendar, everything turns into a nice linear format, meaning you don't see the grid, you just see all your tasks. And if your mind kind of goes from here to there and there, if you have too much to take in visually, this is a nice clean layout for you. So the linear, if you hit the letter A on your keyboard, even if you want to try it out at the moment, if you're in Google Calendar, hit the letter A. Let me know if it still works, unless they changed it. And then it puts everything, or it should put it in a linear format where you just see your tasks and the times to the side.
Like an agenda view.
Yeah, agenda view. No distracting grid lines.
I like that.
And action time. So our next slide is your turn to create your own Framing Your Day calendar. And again, if you need more detail and more hands-on help with this, the course is going to show you how to do this. And then you'll get to come back to this slide in your own time and then create your own framing your day calendar. But that's it. So last slide is the summary. So why are we doing the framing your day calendar? To save you time, to keep your day and your life simple, to give you time to create a morning, evening routine, or even a highly detailed all-day routine. So you can take your time back from searching all over the place and all over the internet for the same things over and over, even in your bookmarks. So you can take your peace back, right? So you can reclaim your Monday. And that's such a strong, right? A strong day to get everything together. And get laser focused. And then snap in your goals. You can put all that in. So here's to reclaiming your Monday. And hey, Tamia.
Thank you so much, Alexia. If anybody has any questions for Alexia
Oh,
before she heads, you have to head out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if anybody's got any questions for her real quick, drop them in the chat. If not, connect with her on LinkedIn. I will make sure that underneath the YouTube and the LinkedIn that I put all of the things, like you can find her book, where you can find everything that she's got. And then too, if you end up signing up for the mini reset course for Q2, like her stuff will be in there. And again, that's for the people that are on this live. I am not the one that did that promo at that one restaurant. So Alexia, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, girl.
You're so welcome, Queen.
I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Okay, cool. So let's get back into it. That was we talked about goals versus ideas, right? And now, oh, we got some love for Alexia. Great presentation. Okay. Thank you, Alexia. Thank you for the love, guys. So, whoops. There we go. I just want to reiterate that theme days and the framework that Alexia has, like the framework that I grabbed from Michael Hyatt, that works for literally everybody at every stage in your life. It can really help you make sure that you're doing the things that you say that you want to do, that they're not just ideas, that they're actual goals and they're a part of your routine. So I firmly believe that this is something everybody can do, even if you're a job seeker, is to make sure that you're hitting all the things that you want to do. And so I'm just going to give you guys an example of what I do for my calendar. And okay, cool. She's been doing her calendar while we talking. I see you. So my Thursdays are for connection. And this hasn't always been the case. I'm just getting back into the habit. But I have things in my personal life that I'm going to do, whether that's if I'm going to pray for a specific person, if I'm going to call them, if I'm going to text them, if I'm just going to let them know that I'm thinking about them. If I haven't done it in a while, I haven't done it in a minute or earlier in that week, Thursdays are for connection. So I'm going to make sure that I get it done. When it comes to work, like I have some journaling prompts that I'm adding into my calendar, right? Like, am I really connecting with the people that I find in front of me? Am I being intentional about being a good leader? And am I being intentional about being a good communicator? Am I taking the time to listen, or am I just talking? Like, how can I be more intentional in my work and the people that I work with? Because it's not just about the thing, it's also about the people. LinkedIn, I'm trying to do better on the LinkedIn, so I'll be doing some LinkedIn stuff. I have some goals for myself that will happen for me on Thursdays. And then Reclaiming Monday, if you are going to be a guest on the show, you more than likely will get outreach from me on Thursday. Okay, so that's just kind of how my Thursdays are going to be working. And like Alexia said, we want those to get into our calendar and in our routine so that they are not just an idea. It's a goal. It's a routine. It's something that's actually happening. I have another confession. Let me take this down real quick. I got another quick confession. So this, don't judge me. But this, okay, so how should I say this? So there was this place, it was a fine establishment that I worked at that, like the only way to take a day off was to grab the calendar in the office. like physically grab the calendar in the office and then request your days off. And I'm just like, this is wild. And I quickly learned that like it's the person who plans the farthest ahead and has good reasoning behind it is the person that's gonna win. And so for me, that's when I really started thinking about forward thinking, forward. Like I had never to that point until I encountered that, thought about my entire year in a glance and like, yo, like what do I want to do this year? Because if I don't figure that out now, I am not going to be able to do it. And so whoever plans the farthest ahead wins. And to illustrate that point, like there's a story of this pastor who actually like his church was growing like so exponentially, like it was crazy, right? So he went next door and talked to the owner of the business that was next door. And what he did was he signed something for 100 years that said he was going to be able to use that parking for 100 years. And that's how far ahead this dude was thinking to make sure that his time and his people were okay. And so those are two things that I wanted to share about the calendar, about the routine. And then I have this quote from this dude, Mike Murdock. So I talked about Michael Hyatt earlier. Mike Murdock, he says that the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. And that is huge. And I don't know about y'all, but I definitely needed to go back to my calendar, and I need to really just lock in. There's some questions that I asked myself. So remember how I said we were going to do a couple of reflection questions? These are ones that I asked myself. So this is extra credit. If you want to ask yourself too, okay? How can I build the future that I say that I want on a foundation of ideas and scattered bits of time? That one is in my journal because I was talking to me. But if that resonates and you need it, screenshot it. But how do you expect to build the future on a foundation that is faulty because you're not doing the things that you need to do on a daily basis? And then the other question that I ask myself is, what fear or excuses do I have to get over to go to where I said that I want to go? So those are two journaling prompts that will have you in tears, maybe. So again, this is helping us take things from ideas to goals. Anywho, I got one more thing that I think was just instrumental in the productivity that I had in the past 5 days, in the past 30 days. And that's the letter that I wrote to myself. If you haven't done this before, it's something that I definitely recommend. And so what I did at the beginning of the year, right? I did all the vision board stuff. I did all the planning. But the thing is like life happens. Things change, like priorities change. You might have some unexpected things go down, some challenges. And so it's important to reset and to remember why you're doing what you're doing. This letter to myself really helped me because I put a lot into it. It wasn't just like some, random stuff. I said, no, this is what I want. This is what I've wanted for a long time. Like, and I didn't want to let my past self down. And so the productivity, the last 30 days and the last 5 days has been insane because tomorrow, as a part of my morning routine, I'm going to open up that letter that I wrote to myself. And so that's the last thing that I want to share with you on this jumpstart, to hopefully help you spur some things that'll help you as you get into your Q2 and we leave Q1 behind. That was your trial run, right? Like, I don't know about you, but the things that I put on my vision board, I kind of like hopped around, I did the things, but now is the time to really just lock in and make sure that I am perfecting the things that I put on my vision board. So let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. But just to recap, number one, there's a huge difference between a goal and an idea. Number two, there's power and vision. Number three, that calendar is so huge. And number four, write a letter to yourself. Take the time to do it tonight when we get done. I do have some reflection questions for you, but I just want to put this into layman's terms real quick. Like, this is real. Number one, I am getting real with myself about who I am, where I am right now, and what I want out of this season in my life. Those are questions that only I can answer for myself. Number two, I'm setting myself up to win by creating an environment that allows me to do all those things. Number 3, I am taking control of my calendar. And number 4, I am taking the time to reflect, to learn, and to grow. Um, so I got some questions for you. If you guys are still here, if you got time to hang out for just a little bit, I got like 5 reflection questions. And talk to me in the chat about how these questions hit. But again, like I said, I will make sure that if you sign up for the free mini course, free right now, again, because we all the way up, we gonna blow up, but right now it's free. So anywho, let me get into it. Take a second, grab your journal if you got it. So the first question that I have for you as we round this out is, how was your Q1, fam? How was it? Was it good? Are there any wins that you really just need to take the time to celebrate that you hadn't done before? Are there any things that you need to change? Like, talk, let yourself know. Be real with yourself. To thine own self be true. How was Q1 for you? All right. So that's the first question. And again, grab a screenshot because I'm gonna go to the next one real quick. Are there any areas of your life that are filled with ideas but have no actionable goal yet? And why? Go ahead and screenshot that. And I'm really glad that I'm run out of pages in my journal, but I am going to do this because I need to, right? Because it's going to help me get refocused and re-engaged and get rid of the excuses that I might have. So hopefully you got a chance to screenshot that. Number 3 is my environment set up in the most optimal way to help me accomplish my goals? And then part B to that is everything around me pointing to the person that I want to be, or is it pointing to the person that I was? And so when I talk about environment, of course, I'm talking about vision boards. Of course, I'm talking about your physical environment, but don't forget about your support system. Don't forget about the things that you look at on a daily basis. Don't forget about the people that speak into your life. Okay? So what does your environment look like right now? And is it set up? Is it pointing you towards where you want to go, or is you pointing you all the way backwards? We have control over a lot of aspects of our lives. Sometimes we don't have control of things, but the things that we can control, that are in your zone of influence, what are we doing to make sure that that is setting us up for success? Okay. Does your calendar match your goals? Go ahead and screenshot this one. The sub question to that is, what's working and what do I need to adjust? And then let me ask you this, friend. Let me ask you this. If somebody said they wanted the exact same things that you want, but they could only follow your calendar, would they be successful? Or would they be, as the kids say, cooked? Would they be cooked? Does your calendar tell on you or not? What's working and what do I need to adjust? Make sure that you guys screenshot that. And then, what is your current system for reflection and growth? Do you journal? Do you take time to get away? Do you have a mentor you talk to? Do you have a counselor? Do you have a therapist? Do you read? What do you do to reflect? Because I found through doing this podcast and talking to people that it's those conversations that I'm having that if I don't take the time to sit with it and learn from it and grow from it, then it's just a waste of time. Like, I am learning so much by talking to experts in their field. I'm not just breezing by it. I'm taking the time to sit with it in the journal and to make sure that I come out on the other side a better person. And one of the things that one of my mentors told me about is, let me see if I can grab this journal, but I'll put a link for the journal too in the course. But there's this journal that you can buy. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it literally has 5 years worth of lines for you to fill out. And I'm like nervous to open it because, okay, but like you can see you have space in there for the next 5 years to write a couple of lines a day to really like to see where you were at. And I like this because it really just is helping me develop a routine of reflection. And not only that, I'm going to be able to see the exponential growth that's going to happen from year to year. So I'm excited about that. So shout out to my mentor. You know who you are. I really appreciate that. And then make sure you guys got a screenshot of that. What is working in your current system of reflection? What do you need to adjust? And then we're gonna do a mini email course. Alexia was so great to be able to offer something for the people that are live, and sign up for the email list. But we're gonna go over Q2 goals and projects. We're gonna go over vision and empowerment. We're gonna go over the calendar. We're gonna go over the letter to the editor, and we're gonna put it all together. And I know that right now this group is so like we intimate right now, and I might share some things so that maybe we can challenge each other and encourage each other, so that when we hit back at the middle of the year, we'll be able to say like, look, this is my win. Remember I was talking about this and I was able to get it done. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and drop that link. If you are not subscribed to Reclaiming Monday, let me publish this link real quick. If you're not subscribed to Reclaiming Monday on the Tube of the Use, go do it. I actually today got to spend some time with 2 guests that are going to be coming through. And you don't want to miss those conversations. We're going to be talking about work trauma and how to deal with that. And we're going to be talking about how to pivot careers. But I just went ahead and dropped in that Google Doc. If you want to get this course and be on the mailing list, I appreciate your time. You could be anywhere on a Monday night. So again, thank you. Thank you for being here. I am going to head out, and I hope that you guys have a fabulous, fabulous Q2. And I hope that you have a good Monday. All right. I'll see you guys later.
Feeling fresh at the start of the week. Monday morning, I am back on my feet. Stay sharp, staying ready to run. I am reclaiming Monday, so you know I gotta wake up. No time for the snooze. Got goals to chase, got nothing to lose. Step in the game, I'm making my move. Monday's mine, I'm setting the mood. We reclaim, we take back. No slow down, no laid back. New day, new way. Yeah, we stay on track, reclaim Monday. Now watch that stack.